Tom had just asked me, we've been working together doing some different things, and had asked if I'd like to come and speak to some of his agents, referral partners, people that he does business with day in, day out. And I said, why not? What else do we have to do here on a Thursday? So let me just make sure that my slides work. It doesn't. I got to click over there. So here is my promise to you guys for this presentation. My promise is this. You're going to be able to take away 1 to 3 tangible things, everybody out there, 1 to 3 tangible things that you will be able to take off and go and how did that happen? I got muted along the way. Okay.
Yeah.
That's good. Everything that I set up to that point was terrible. So I'm going to go backwards. That's really weird. And that is well, I'll just stay here. Can you guys hear me now? Thumbs up, anyone? Awesome. Okay. So we're going to go again here. Time number 2. Here's my promise to you guys for this presentation. At the end of this, you're going to be able to take away 1 to 3 things that you will be able to immediately go out there and apply to your business, to your life, to allow you to move a little bit faster, to allow you to move forward, to allow you to maybe do a little bit more than what you are right now with these things. I like to run a very open format. If there's something that comes up that is pressing for you, you've got a question, you've got a concern, just scream it out. For the most part, any questions you have are more important than the stuff that I talk to you about. And I don't want this to feel as if it is something where I'm talking at you. This is a discussion. And again, the goal here is that we all get a little bit better as a result of what we're doing here. And I'm going to go to my next slide.
You want to go, John, time out. Do you want to do a little background, to everybody who you are? And
you know what? That is a fantastic suggestion. And I actually have a slide to do that very thing. We're thinking alike. So I just wanted to give you guys a little bit of background as to why I'm here, who am I, and why do I even matter? So I've been in the mortgage business about 28 years. I've got a 4-digit NMLS. I started my career at a very small company called Rock Financial. There was a visionary there that told people that loans would be done online. Sat on their executive team, have flown on private jets, have done all kinds of things, won lots of awards. That company is today Rocket Mortgage. So that's where I got my start in the business. I started out working directly with real estate agents. And at this point, I've probably hired well over 1,000 loan officers, helped coach them, earn hundreds of millions of dollars of commission. I have just some basic core premises, like things that I'm about. Thing number 1, I have a strong desire that each and every one of us are the CEO of our 1,440 minutes. Change is inevitable. Growth is optional. So every single day, the clock's ticking. We're losing those time. We get to determine where our life goes. The less reliant each of us are on any other person, thing, any outside circumstance, the greater the likelihood that we will be able to truly achieve freedom. If I'm relying on somebody else for my freedom, I'm really not free. At the end of the day, when we put our head down on the pillow, we've got one of 2 things. When you go to bed tonight, you will either have some results or you're going to have excuses. There is nothing in between, because we're ultimately responsible and the CEO of your 1,440 minutes. So I worked at what is now Rocket Mortgage for a while, went and bought and sold whole notes out in the hedge fund world, have helped multiple mortgage companies exit, started a variety of brokerages. And over the last couple of years, I've been running a company. My last real job was that of chief revenue officer at a fintech company. And last 2 years, I've been running a company helping mortgage bankers become brokers, doing sales coaching, just a lot of different things, but right in the mix, day in, day out, with people just like you, out trying to make a living in this crazy market that we're in, and see a lot of techniques, tactics. My wife also owns a mortgage company, and we work with dozens of real estate agents every single day to help them close more loans. So this is a combination of a lot of things here that we're coming at you with, hopefully to give you some different little things that can help you actually do more. So I want to get started here. It's a little bit silly, but I want to talk about the butterfly life cycle. Has anybody ever seen this before? Just shake a head. My kindergartner is working on this right now. And the reason that I want to show this, a butterfly can't just go from being an egg. It doesn't go egg to butterfly. There's an actual process of how this happens. And the process is, right, you've got the egg stage, and the egg then becomes a caterpillar. And the caterpillar, believe it or not, has different needs than the egg. They need different things. They then go into this little cocoon, is what we called it. They now became fancy and made a word that's harder to say, but it goes into this phase and it has unique requirements at this time. And then the adult butterfly emerges and you've got an adult, butterfly. And often, so we're just going to kind of keep this sitting there, but buying and selling of real estate is very similar to this process, believe it or not. And I don't know if you guys where are you guys at? Is it most of you in Wisconsin? Is that where? Yes? Awesome. So I think you guys have monarch butterflies. Everybody. So a monarch butterfly is really unique in that during its life cycle, it actually is so specific. It needs to have milkweed. It needs to have a special kind of plant to eat in order for it to survive. So we're just going to set this off to the side. Just put this in your memory bank. This is one of the 3 things I guaranteed you'd learn. Butterflies eat milkweed. Thing number 1. Awesome. So I've given one of the 3 things that I'm going to give you as far as my takeaways. The next thing, now I'm going to bring it into our world a little bit. There is a premise in the marketing world. And this is regardless of the products that you sell, anything. There is a thing called the larger market formula. And essentially what this states is at any given time inside of a market, roughly 3% of the people are ready to buy right now. So that's the upper portion of this equation. You then have 17% that are in an information gathering phase. They're not ready to pull the trigger on buying today, but maybe they're out there gathering information. 20% of the population is aware of that they have a problem, or maybe it's something that's in the near future. And then 60% of the population is completely kind of just unaware. They don't even know that the problem really exists inside of their world. And if I think about that inside of the landscape of the mortgage space and the real estate space, NAR recently conducted a study, interviewed a lot of people. And this will sound crazy to us, but I want to say it was like 74 or 75% of the people they polled still believe you need greater than 15% down to purchase a home. Is that true? Can I purchase a home with less than 15% down? Yes? No? Maybe so? Well, I'm going to answer for you. So you guys are very talkative there this morning, but you don't need 15% down. Yet the vast majority of the world falls into this category down here. They're unaware that they can even buy a house because they believe they need 15% down and they only have 10. So a good portion of the world is in that phase. I don't know if that's who you message to, but this applies true across marketing and is a very standardized process or standardized belief in the marketing of the entire world. And I'm going to slide to the next slide. So we had a cycle of what happens with a butterfly, right? You can't go from an egg to a butterfly. It has to first become a caterpillar and move through those. I believe that homeowners actually have the exact same thing. So something very similar happens inside of the homeowner world. 60% right now have no idea or no plan as to when they're going to purchase a home, even if they can. They're just kind of wandering around out there. Buying a home is not something that's on their radar. You can think of them as an egg. And that makes up 60% of the world. So if you go to an apartment complex next door to you that has 100 doors, 60 of those 100 people are going to fall into this category right now. So if you send them a mailer, let's say you do a postcard mailer to that apartment complex that says, would you like to see a home today? Does it resonate with the 60% that have no idea? Not at all. You just wasted the postage, the time, the whole card because you were trying to sell wings to an egg. We're going to move to the next bucket. You've got another some people that are 9 months plus out. I kind of put this into that. They're aware that maybe someday they're going to buy a house. They understand it a little bit, but they're 9 months plus out. They don't want to see anything today. You can ask them, would you like to see a house? They're not in that position yet. Next bucket. 30 days to 9 months. This is, if I go back one slide, this is those people that are in that information gathering phase. This is often the point at which people go. If anybody buys Zillow leads or does stuff like that, or they buy leads from any of the places you would buy leads, a good chunk of the clients that you're getting fall into this bucket. They're in that 30 days to 9 month mark. They're probably going to do something relatively soon. And the interesting thing inside of this bucket, I've done loans long enough and understand it well enough to know that the person that was looking 9 months, what happens when they get pre-qualified? They know that they can already afford a house. They have all of their ducks in a row. I like to say that they're poops in a group, and they can buy. And they now have a pre-approval in hand. Even if their old time horizon was 9 months, guess what happens to a lot of those clients? That becomes the person that you're out showing homes to this weekend, because once they feel empowered, they move really quickly, a lot faster than we might think. And we're in a little bit weird world today in that there's a lack of inventory. Otherwise, you would be selling a lot more houses. There's people that want a house, they just can't find one. But this is a segment of the population. And then the very bottom group there falls into this bucket. 3% are ready right now. And the one thing I want to kind of just caution you, and I don't know who does social media, what kind of things you're out there doing to attract new buyers. And we're terrible at this inside of the mortgage world. Start looking at the post-mortgage people do. When they're saying, hey, apply right now, who are they talking to? The only people that want to apply right now is 3 out of 100. That message just landed cold with 97% of the people. So if you're going out with the equivalent message, you want to see a home this weekend, understand that 97 of the 100 people that you're getting in front of to see a home this weekend probably aren't in that part of their life cycle. They're maybe a caterpillar. They're not ready to go out into the cocoon yet. They still need to eat a lot of milkweed to do some different things to get to that point. So what I want to talk to you about here is these people come in and out of your world all the time. And I don't know if anybody on here has a buttoned up plan, but if somebody comes to you and says, I want to purchase a home, I'd like to purchase a home. My son's a sophomore in high school right now. I'd like to purchase a home after he graduates in 2.5 years. I don't know what you do with that client. Most people that I talk to say that lead's not any good. They're not doing anything. You don't refer them over to Tom. It's just a conversation that passes by the wayside. And we hope that something happens down the road. What I'd like to tell you about all of these clients that are in this no plan, that are the 9 month out, the 30 days to 9 months, all of this bucket is your closings for 2026, 2027, 2028. And the business that all of us do a really good job at, if a client wants to see a house this weekend, this is where most, and I don't know your business inside and out, most real estate agents are really good at showing houses today for somebody that's going to buy right now. And you're tracking that through your cell phone. It's a text thread that's with them. Nothing's happening automated in a CRM. You're just going to grunt, just hold them close to you and hug them really tight until they buy a house. And there's not a process or a system that happens there. It just happens because it's the closest thing to a paycheck, and you're going to follow up with it. So this is our world that we live in, but I want to take you kind of to the next slide. If you start looking at it, that person that's 2 years out, I can give you some stats, but this is a pretty interesting thing. So inside of the United States right now, about 65% of all people own a home. So it's not a question really of that person that talks to you that's going to buy a house in 2 years. It's more a question of when are they going to buy, with who are they going to buy, and why are they going to buy? And this you are 100% in control of these things. The when, the with who, and the why. This is why you get your kids buy homes from you, because you're going to continue to follow up and be there in their life enough that they will still do the home with you. But it's also why a lot of other people don't, right? Their friends from high school, different people, they leave you. So all of it is, when are they going to buy, with who, and why? And what is the next step? And every single person that comes into your ecosystem, so if they come in and they're breathing and they make it into your ecosystem, the question you need to be asking yourself is, what is my next step for this particular client? And if it's their friends from high school, you got a kid that graduates from high school, goes off to college, every one of their buddies are going to become a homeowner. At least 7 out of 10 roughly will become a homeowner. And in Wisconsin, right, 70% of people are homeowners. So 7 out of 10 of the kids that your kids went to high school with will be homeowners. You had the earliest at bat to get them into your sales process. So they literally were your fresh lead first, and then somebody else's fresh lead later. So I would start looking at, just as you walk around, fresh lead, fresh lead, fresh lead, and then start asking yourself, well, what's the next step that I have with this particular client? And I just want to share some additional stats. So our typical buyer here today, this is like looking at things across the United States. The average age of a buyer today, the mean age is 56 years old. 56. That's crazy for me to think that the average age of a buyer is 56. Average age of a first-time home buyer now is 38. People put roughly 18% down. 1 in 4 people buy their house completely with cash. So 1 in 4 of all sales are cash. And right now, 17% of homes are being bought multi-generational, meaning mom and dad are buying with the kids. So there's these trends, there's these things that are changing. And you as an agent, one, just need to be aware of kind of what the landscape looks like. Where are people at? How can I bring them into my funnel? Because the topic here, the thing was being successful. What is it? I'm going to have to go back. Blueprint 2025. I think that the blueprint's changing a little bit today from what we did in the past. And it's changing for kind of a variety of different reasons. But a lot of it has to do with internet, big data, tech. And it's finding, so for each of you, it's about finding your own individual niche. Where are you going to meet people? How are you going to attract more eyeballs into your ecosystem? So when they are ready, the who is with you, and the why is because you added them value along the way. So I'm going to hit my next slide here. So what business are we really in? You're not in the selling of home business. That's not what any of you do. You're not in the contract business. You're not in the home showing business. You're not in the sitting for an inspection business. That's not the business that you're in. You're actually in the business of providing a place for somebody to go out and make memories, dreams. Right? That's really what you're doing. The big people can be in those other things, and I can commoditize somebody to sign a contract for 0.5%, but you're in the providing them a place for their dreams to come true. And what do your clients want? Do you want to know what clients want more than anything else? They don't care about commissions, about any of that. What they want is certainty. They want to know that if they do the things, they'll get the result. People are super fearful of going out and finding a house and not being able to qualify, or not being able to find a house, or making a wrong decision, or having the gutters fall off. Like, they're really concerned about those things. So the reason they don't move forward often with you is they're not certain enough in the process that you're the person that can deliver them the result they want. And it's just across the board. It's all about providing certainty. If I knew that you were going to go out, and I was in that 17% that's gathering information, if I knew this, I'll take you to the next slide. This guy here is Jordan Belfort. He's the Wolf of Wall Street. And he talks about something that people look for certainty in 3 different categories. How certain am I that you are the person that can deliver the result? How certain am I that the product that you're going to bring me is the right fit for me, and that the company that you work for is going to bring those results? The more certain I am, so the more certain the prospect is that you can solve their problems, the more likely they will buy from you. So if on a scale of 1 to 10, they think you're a 10. They love you, they're right. They know you're awesome. They know that you're going to be able to find them the best houses out there and get them the best price. Your product's great. And you work for a company that doesn't stink, right? You don't have a bad brand name. It's good. Your community's good. It's well trusted. You guys sponsor little league teams. If you can be a 10, 10, 10 across these things, they really like you. They will buy a house from you. And if you go and look at your clients that you've closed and that are happy and repeat clients, I bet they have a very high regard for you as a person, the products that you sell, your ability to find them a home. That's your product, is going out and finding them a home, and the company that you work with. And one thing I would tell you, every action that you take from this moment moving forward, look at the action that you're doing with that particular client and say, am I moving them? Am I increasing my certainty, or am I decreasing my certainty? Every action that you do. And some people don't like this, but this goes all the way to the actions. What you do at 1 a.m. on a Friday night in the bar after bowling league increases or decreases certainty inside of your community as to whether or not, like, maybe some people like that, right? Like, I'm just saying, like, for your clientele, every action that you take, intentionally or unintentionally, you are out building a personal brand. And how do I increase certainty? By your brand. So the stronger, the better the brand is, the more certainty that portrays, ultimately leading to more clients. And I didn't want to go down like a whole branding thing. There's thousands of people that can talk to you about social media and what to do, what not to do. What I would tell you here is you are building a personal brand. Whether you like it or not, you can't get away from it today. Social media is all over the place. People know more and more about you. When you're referred somebody, guess what the first thing they do is today? If I got referred you from my sister that this agent's great and I'm looking at buying in Milwaukee, the first thing I'm going to do is go and look at your social media. I'm going to go and see what you're doing out there. What are you posting? What kind of vibe can I get from you? Do I even want to work with you? And that's your brand. And like it or not, we can't really change the way that is today. So it happens. But what are you doing inside of your brand to create certainty to say, yeah, that's the guy for me? And maybe it'll also save yourself some headaches if you're not the guy for them. If you're posting a bunch of pictures with the massive whitetail you shot and it's the client's a vegan and you guys are going to butt heads, like, maybe you're saving yourself some headaches too. Right? Like, I'm not saying it's right or wrong. You can see, but I got deer horns and stuff behind me. And I'm sure that my brand turns some people off. You know, that cow is actually Martin. That was my aunt's pet, but it got turned into hamburger. I got it stuffed. So I'm going to probably alienate some people, but my brand will still ultimately sell to people that I want to deal with. And my brand will work for me. You each have something unique. Your personal brand is going to attract people. And this can't be taken like the big people can't do it. Like, I see Susie up there. Susie has a brand, and that's unique and special to her and is going to help Susie sell. So definitely lean into your brand, but it's the most important thing you have today across the board is your brand. And I just want to kind of talk about what the big boys are doing today. Anybody hear about this little move? Rocket Redfin? Rocket bought Redfin. $1.75 billion. Redfin doesn't even do very much real estate. You know what they do though really well? They get eyeballs. Roughly 50 million people a month go to Redfin to see them. Where do you think Redfin starts? If we go all the way back to that pyramid, where does Redfin start gathering clients? They start gathering clients in the rental phase. Kids right out of college get into Redfin's ecosystem. 15 years maybe before they're ready to buy a house. And guess what they're going to do? They're going to pepper them with things all the way along the way. Rocket paid $1.2 billion for a thing that was called Truebill. That's now called Rocket Money. So they're getting into your wallets at the beginning, helping you budget, finance, adding value all the way through. All of those things were bought for one reason. You don't even know it. When you go to Rocket Money, you think it's a budgeting app. It's not a budgeting app. It's a lead generation app for Rocket Mortgage to be able to sell you stuff. Next is going to be Rocket Insurance. Who knows? Maybe they'll be able to Rocket Cell Phone. They're going to do things, and it becomes this circular motion. From the second you graduate from high school, that's when they start hitting you for Rocket Money. Kids coming out of high school, and they are going to nurture you all the way along the way. And they're going to get in front of it. And let me tell you, when it lands at Rocket Mortgage, does Rocket Mortgage try and keep the transaction with you, or does it try and maybe now move it to a Redfin agent? If you let your clients go to Rocket Mortgage, I'm going to tell you something. Rocket Mortgage is going to try and steer it to a Rocket affiliate agent. Now, maybe you work with Rocket Home or something, but if not, they're going to try and do that. That's part of their job. I want to go to another one here. This is Zillow. Zillow takes from BuyAbility. You go to Zillow. Zillow is one of the highest ranked companies inside of the mortgage and world. Super favorable. People love Zillow. But it goes in, they look at BuyAbility, they do different things. Guess what they want to do? They want to take that client that just went there to look at a house of yours. They want to move it to a Zillow agent or get you to pay them 35% of the commission as like a flex agent. They want to take your client, cipher a little bit off of it. I'm going to kind of bounce here to another one. That's just more Zillow stuff. And here's kind of just what other big boys are out there. Credit Karma, Experian. When your clients go there, guess what they're doing? Credit Karma and Experian are lead generators. They're trying to sell it to other people to go in and sell your clients. You got Rocket Money, Bankrate, people searching calculators, those kind of things. They're taking that, trying to sell it. Go and Google mortgage calculator. Somebody wants a payment, go and Google mortgage calculator. If you don't provide them a mechanism to do that yourself, guess where they go? Someplace else. And they're on that page and they're plugging away and something pops up and it says, hey, come and check this out. And we all have ADD today, and they float off like a butterfly over there, right? Back to the butterfly analogy. And they float over there, and the next thing you know, they're looking at a house with somebody because they went down a rabbit hole. So a couple of our things are we're trying to constantly elevate our brand, create a personal brand, add value back to these consumers. And just by understanding the larger market formula and saying, where can I get in with these clients and how can I nurture them along? So when they are ready to buy, I'm the person that they think of. So there's a variety of different places here and different things that you can do. Tom, did you have a question? Or are you just stretching?
Oh, it's so, it's so funny you talked about this today, because I literally every Thursday do calls, annual reviews or 6-month reviews with clients. And I called one of my clients, I think it was a 6-month review. And we had a conversation. He's like, oh yeah, I see my value is this. And every month it goes up or down. I'm like, okay, what are you using for that? He's like, oh, Rocket sends it to me. I'm like, oh, okay. And then I said, well, because I didn't recall him talking to Rocket before we did the mortgage. And I said, well, how did you connect with them? He's like, oh yeah, I got the Rocket Money or Rocket app where it tracks all my debts and my investments, and it sends me a monthly review of my property value each and every month. So the point being is your clients are probably doing this without you knowing. So they're getting automatically tied into their ecosphere without you even knowing. So we got to be, having those conversations with our clients so we can make sure we keep them in our ecosystem versus Rocket or somebody else's.
Yeah, and Rocket's really good, right? It links their credit. So it
Yep.
knows how much you have on your house. It sends you the value of your house, links your credit, knows when you did the transaction, probably has an understanding of about what your interest rate is, and will even prompt you that you may be eligible for a refinance. I worked there back when they got purchased by Intuit, which was TurboTax. And it was revolutionary, right? This was like 2000. Bill Clinton's in office. Monica's there with them. They're sitting around filing their taxes together on TurboTax. Actually, that was a joke. Oh, that was me being funny, right? I'm a dad. Okay, it's not that funny, but I thought it was. So they're sitting there doing their taxes. Well, Rocket got purchased by TurboTax to be a plugin on the TurboTax app at the time. And back then you had to go to the Costco or wherever and you bought a disc and you took the disc home and you put the disc in your computer like but they've been working on this game plan of getting clients earlier in the journey since the late 90s, before Y2K in the world was going to end, when our clocks didn't flip to the new year and we were all going to die. So it goes all the way back to then. So they've been at this game for 25 years. That's why they're better than us. But also, just one thing I would encourage you, don't look at somebody else's company in chapter 2000 and compare it to where your business is at. I just posted something today on LinkedIn that was a rock creed from about 2000 that has typos in it. So the big behemoth that is Rocket Mortgage was sending out stuff that wasn't super stellar when they were a younger company as well. So I got two things here for you that I think I can help. Potentially, we can help you guys compete. You okay with me showing you a couple of different tools that you might be able to do something with to compete against them inside of your own marketplace? And a thumbs up, is that cool? So let me show you the first thing that I got. It's not a Hello Kitty calculator, but it is actually a mortgage calculator. And the reason that I want to talk to you about calculators is this. Rocket Mortgage as a whole gets about 5 to 10 million views per month go to their site. People searching mortgage calculators online right now is somewhere in that 5 million people a month go to get information about mortgage calculators. It's one of the biggest places where a client goes that they then get picked up by lead providers. Credit Karma, every one of them have mortgage calculators. I don't know if you maintain a website, if you talk about anything, if you ever have clients that want to know what a payment would be on a $300,000 house. I don't know if you ever run into those scenarios, but having a mortgage calculator, this is one that we do. This is me. This is an agent that I work with. She's done lots of homes for me, but we do a co-branded mortgage calculator together. The two of us together, and I'll actually even show you what the calculator looks like. I'm going to pull this up on a separate screen. And this is not a demo for the calculator. I just want to show it to you really quick. So here's what the calculator looks like. It's got an affordability calculator. Super sweet. If the client hits email me this, we actually send them the quote right to them. So they get what they plugged in, emailed to them. We capture that lead info. If they want to get contacted, they can put out their information. It tells us, what they're looking at doing, and it emails us and creates a lead. And Tom doesn't even know about this yet, but if this is something that you would be into, having a co-branded calculator where this would be Tom and this would be you, and we can provide you all the tools to embed it right in on your website, so you have a calculator where you can drive your clients to, whether they're looking at what they can afford, maybe DSCR, rent versus buy. Do you ever have clients that want to know about net proceeds? Where they can go in there. So this is for all those clients that aren't ready. They're 2 years down the road. If this is something that you're interested in and you want one, and this is something that you'd use, and the cost is zero, it doesn't cost you anything, we will set you up with one of these calculators co-branded with Tom. Super simple how to do that. I'm going to minimize this. And if you take this right here, if you scan this little barcode, what's going to happen is it's going to pop up, and the agent on the barcode is not going to have a head. It's going to have a question mark, and it says, "Put me here." And that means you fill that out. And what you will do is, in the little comments, put in your information. Tom will then reach back out to you. It's going to create a lead on our end. We're going to reach back out to you. All we need is one of two things. We'll know your name. We're going to need a headshot. And there's two ways to get this. You can let Tom pick your headshot. Ladies, you might not like what he picks. Maybe it's not a picture where you're not looking right at the camera, or your butt looks big, or whatever the problems are. I post pictures of my wife and can't seem to ever do it right. So if you don't want a dude to pick out the picture that is of you, we would just ask that you send us a picture, and we'll get the thing set up. We'll get you out a calculator, and we do have metrics tracking on the back end to let us know as people come through, who's clicking on it, what's happening. And our promise to you, even if you deal with another lender, here's the only asset we have on the app part. We're going to give it to you for free. Is if you have a client that comes through and they come through the calculator and they end up deciding to do something with us, even if you work with another lender, that you give Tom a shot at that client. I don't care if you still refer it to your other one. I want Tom to get a shot at it. Does that sound fair enough? Free calculator, be able to embed it on your website. Only ask is that Tom gets a shot. Can I get a thumbs up if that's like acceptable? It sounds fair. Okay, perfect. So we'll look for this. I'll get the leads and we're going to get them over to Tom. He's going to have to set them up. I'm going to Disney, so it might take a couple of days, depending. If only one person does it, we can do it fast. But that's thing number one. Cool. So now what's thing number two? So that's super simple. Thing number two is this. As we kind of take it to the next level, again, this is another piece of technology, hopefully allowing you to compete and put a moat around your business that Rocket Mortgage can't touch. We have an app called our Fin Toolbox. And what it is, and I'm not going to go through and give you like a massive demo of the app. What it is this. It is kind of all of these things. There's a place for your future clients to monitor their credit, look at personal finance, do all the stuff that Rocket Money person did inside of this app, that they can do it in there instead of at Credit Sesame, Rocket Money, Credit Karma. There is a section in there where they can look at properties. They can like properties, they can favorite them, they can receive notifications on prices going up or down. Any client that you refer into the app, if they're searching for properties, you as the shared agent on the app, guess what you get? Notification that Jimmy Sanchez is now looking at properties. And you get notifications when they're out there shopping for properties. And then last but not least, there's a ton of mortgage education inside of the app. And we could give you I could let you go in, check out the app. There's a lot of different things we can do. Just understand that it's kind of cool. It works well. And right now inside of the app, just so you know, across the country, there's about 75,000 clients that use the app and about 1,500 loan officers that are offering it. It's a white label app. So they're offering it under a variety of different names. So I think you guys there's different companies that have it. It's out there. It's pretty heavily used. Our version is called the Fin Toolbox. And that's something that I have for people that I work with. So this would be, Tom is in there. And I'm just going to walk you through kind of how this works at a high level. You could get more questions, but you have all these different things up here, right? Social media, web traffic, first-time homebuyer seminars, leads, clients maybe that couldn't move forward, database. All of these clients, what I would tell you, if they're not ready to see a house with you right now to go out and start shopping, so they're in one of those longer buckets, or maybe they're not ready to hit apply now or get pre-qualified. This is a client that maybe would they're your fresh lead today, they're going to be somebody else's tomorrow. Put them in the app. What you're going to get, if you decide to sign up, you're going to get a QR code that looks like this. That's specific to you with your clients. As soon as they hit this, it takes them to a customized landing page where they're going to walk through and it's going to ask them a series of questions. How soon are you looking at buying? Just some different things. We'll just make the assumption that it works and it doesn't suck, and we can get more details. I don't want to get knee deep into doing a demo for an app. So then they're there. Here's what the client gets. They get their credit score. They can run what if scenarios. What if I did this? What if I paid off this? There's some budget, some tracking, property things. They can tie their existing home to their credit report and get queued up as far as when they might be able to refinance different things. So even for closed clients, and if any of you has used HomeBot before, does almost the exact same thing as HomeBot. It will notify your client monthly of where their property value is at and allows them to link it. So just another thing, beautiful thing about this, where HomeBot costs you probably money every month. This is free. It becomes part of the app. Bunch of different things in here. Again, we get tracking on the back end, what the client's doing. Tons of value to the loan officer. We're not even going to talk about that. We're not concerned with what's valuable to Tom and what's not. And then last but not least, any clients that we put in there, there's a very robust CRM to where they're constantly getting notifications from either the app, and it's an app on mobile, so on their phone, or it's also something they can access from their computer. And everything throughout the app, if it comes in, I don't know if Devin's on the call. This is one of Tom's agents. This is an actual link for them. This is his app. If you were to fill it out and scan this barcode, guess what Devin would get? An instant notification saying so-and-so has just downloaded my app. He's already in there working with Tom with this app. And what it looks like once a client's in the app is branded with both of you all the way throughout the app. And at any time that you have questions about it, Tom will know exactly what's happening with that client. Again, our ask here is pretty simple. If you have a client that you send to them, our only ask is at some point down the road, 6 months, 8 months, 3 years, whenever it is, when that client becomes ready and is out looking for a home, Tom will know that they're out looking for a home. We'll be engaged with them because we will have sent them hundreds of pieces of data at this point. And it's not like the pumpkin spice latte recipe that you send out on November 14th about Thanksgiving. It's actual pertinent data. We just ask that we get an at-bat at that time. So if that sounds fair, again, we'll already have your picture. If you're doing the other thing, I'd say do them both. We can get you a shared link out for both of those things. And here's the guarantee that I will make to you. This is a 100% guarantee. I do not believe that it wouldn't be right. If you start doing something like this, and if you started doing it 1 year ago, let's say you got this app and you got it a year ago, and every person that you talked to in the last year that wasn't ready to go look at a house right now, that was just, they tried to push you off the phone, you put them in there. And I'm just going to show you some kind of quick math. So let's say 1 year ago, you got 2 clients per week to put their name in there. They downloaded the shared app with you. That's 100 for the year. Let's say just 5% of them buy. Zillow leads convert somewhere between 5 and 10%. So people that are going to Zillow that become a lead, it's somewhere in the 5 to 10% range. I'm assuming that this is probably at least the same. That would be 1 out of every 20 people you put there are going to make it down to where they're ready to buy. That would be 5 closings in 2026. If your average closing amount's 400,000, that'd be 5, that'd be 2 million in volume. Let's say after all of your expenses and everything, you're still making 2%. That's $40,000 that's going to show up in your bank statement because you put clients in this app that weren't going to go probably anywhere anyways. I don't know, maybe your follow-up boss is super awesome and you've got it dialed in and you're hitting it and you'd never miss a client. My guess though, after dealing with a lot of agents, I'm going to say you're like lenders and you're just not that great at managing your CRM. A lot of your fresh leads become somebody else's fresh leads in 60, 90 days. And that cycle repeats forever and ever. So if this math makes sense and it's something that you want to do, let Tom know. He'll set up a shared link. And I can actually, I could show you what it looks like, what the app looks like, but we'll just try and kind of get through it. And then for a bonus, if you like the calculator, if you like the shared app, we're happy to give you those. If you want some additional stuff, I run a community on the back end. People pay to be part of the community. I will give any of you guys free access to it. I don't really have like a real estate agent program that I do. And we post inside of there every single day. We're posting different tidbits. Try this on social media. Here's some stats. Here's some things you should know. I'm going to say for you being an agent, I think it's pretty good because I'm the one creating the data, the content. So of course I think it's good. But even if 50% of it didn't apply and it just wasn't very good, you're still going to get 50% of it. And my whole premise inside of there, I try to deliver what I call VPM, that's value per minute. I want you just to get things that are quick hitters that you can go in, quickly look at it. Does it make sense? Does it not? But there's a lot of stuff from social media, marketing. There's just a lot of really good stuff in there. There's hundreds of people that are in there that pay for it. I'm giving it to you for free. It's part of the people coming back through this group. And in order to do that, I'm very big into my QR codes. I love my QR codes. If you scan this right now, you will get put into that group. You'll get a little notification to join the group. The group is called AEs Are Awesome, or not AEs, Agents Are Awesome. I literally just made an extra part of the group for you today. And my commitment back to you is I will continue to post things in there for you on different stuff. And feel free to do whatever you would like in there. You see something that you like, comment, post. And my only ask back to you is this: if you have people that you know that maybe I could help, you don't think this sucked, you thought that maybe like I did help get somebody's poop in a group and figure things out. I love referrals. So most of my business comes from one person telling someone else, hey, I sat through this guy, he might be able to help you. I have a variety of different things that I do for loan officers. I'm not trying to sell you it because you're not a loan officer, but I have a lot of ways that I can help a loan officer grow their business, do more, kind of through some of these tools, the coaching as well. And then one last thing that I have on here is just this. This is my digital business card. This will take you to my stuff, but if you have questions, concerns, follow me on social media. LinkedIn is kind of my main spot. I do a lot of things there. But follow me on social media. Like I said, I love referrals. I like helping people. I'm closer to 100 now than I am to 0. And I derive a lot of value in my day-to-day life of actually helping people out. So I'm not necessarily trying to sell anybody anything. And I have some goals for myself. When I hit 60, I'd like to be in a different position where what I'm doing has a lot more to do with coaching and speaking and helping a greater community. So I'm putting in the work today for something that's going to occur 8 years down the road. But each and every one of you are part of that. So I'd love your advice along the way of things that I might be able to do better. I'd love any input. I'd love you to, a little bit of support and some cheering. But that's kind of it in a nutshell. And we've got 10 minutes here. I've got probably about 4 that I could go over. And then I've got some little kids that need to be picked up from school. Otherwise, I won't be, leaning into my being important 1,440 minutes. Do we have any kind of initial questions out there? I was supposed to do this in about 38 minutes and I went slow. So.
My quick question, I guess. So those things that you were offering, like the link to like partner with Tom, you said it could be embedded on your website. Can this just be a link? Like I have a link tree that people can click on from like my social media page.
100%. So
Okay.
and that's the calculator. So yeah. So if you want to put your own Hello Kitty calculator on there, it's not a Hello Kitty calculator, but it would be really cool if it was. If you want to put your own calculator on there, 2 things happen. When we set you up with it, we're going to give you a link. So you're just going to get a URL that takes it directly to your page. What is it, Hayden? So we'll
Matt.
say, what?
That's my husband's name. It just popped up. I don't know why. It's Madison.
Okay, Madison in Wisconsin. That's easy.
Yeah.
And I will forget. I've already forgotten. But Madison, and now it could probably resonate. It's going to just show Tom and Madison. You'll have a quick link, and then we'll give you an embed code as well if you wanted to embed it on your site. But your link tree is perfect.
Okay, great.
Any other questions? Thank you again for asking a question, also, Madison. Most people are not so brave.
So to parlay off of that, you could probably do a link tree to the app as well, or a link in your link tree, right? For the app.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, and the app, I mean, when you sign up there, there's a lot of we could spend hours on the technical things of what it will do and how it works, and here's what happens and here's what they see. Well, I found the best way to do any of these kind of things. If you're not a user of it, so let us get you signed up. Then go out, like if you do the Fin Toolbox thing, go out, sign up for the app yourself. Look at it and put yourself at whatever phase you are and say, how would I use this myself? Is it valuable to me as a human being? Because if you would never use the app yourself, I don't know that you're going to be able to convince your clients to. It just doesn't have value. If you never look at a calculator, if you just buy everything, you just walk in the Louis Vuitton store and the purse, whether it's $3,000 or $7,000, the price doesn't matter. You just buy the bag. Well, I don't know that looking at a calculator matters. But for somebody else that does walk in and look at it and they want to know if it's $3,000 or $5,000, then right, calculators matter. And a lot of consumers, it's one of the biggest, most searched things out there. So I think calculators are huge. And then on your social media stuff, I'm still sharing. Let me see. I've got some bonus slides. This is really cool. This is a way that someone else had shared a calculator. Let me just show this to you. This is I'm just going to play the video. Let me see if it links to it. Ooh, let's see. Okay. I'm going to play this video. So this is a guy in Nebraska, how he's using his calculator, did all this with AI. So this is not even a real person. So he just made this all with AI. So let me expand this out and you should be able to hear it if I do away with this.
Calculator is a must for any month.
Let me slide it all the way back. Give me a thumbs up too if you can hear it.
What would my monthly payment be for a $500,000 loan? First off, ShopBolt Mortgage has a great calculator that anybody can use to not only calculate what your monthly payment would be, but also get an idea if you would qualify for that loan. This calculator is a must for anyone looking at payment options. They also have a bunch of other calculators you can use to see if there is a benefit to buying, refinancing, or selling your home. All you have to do is fill out a few fields and you will get instant results and helpful insights. It's completely free to use and makes budgeting for home ownership easy, and it doesn't cost anything to use. You can explore the calculators now by clicking the link below.
So that link, believe it or not, this was all created by AI. This is an AI generated woman reading a typed out script in an AI thing that's then overlaid inside of CapCut. They just, like, whether you understand that or not, this would take me about 30 minutes to make. Like, I understand these things. But again, like, that could be something that you put out there about, hey, I've got this calculator. A lot of my clients that come to me, they have questions about payments before they ever want to see a house. Check out our calculator. And boom, now you're giving something to those people. They don't want to see a house. They don't want to list. They don't want you to show up and do a competitive market analysis. They want to know how much the cost is going to be on the new home if they downsize. So give them what they want. So don't try and give an egg wings. If I go all the way back to the initial analogy there, meet your client where they're at and provide them with what they need at that time. So that was another kind of cool thing and a different way of doing it. And that was just done inside of LinkedIn. And this here is the community on the back end too, just so I'm showing you guys stuff. This is kind of what you would see inside of the community. If I go, so here's like the things that are being posted in here. There's just a little snapshot of how the app works. A podcast that I do, sales mastery, different closing things. How do you become a commodity or not become a commodity? We do weekly calls, different things. Would you like to change this? So there's just a lot of tidbits. Every week I send out a market update on Sundays. Where do you fall in here? Just a ton of information. So there's a bunch of stuff. This is the link for your goalie. Yeah. So we've got things in there. Any other kind of questions or things that somebody might have? Did I miss anything? Is there something that's pressing? Now is your chance to ask a question.
I don't think so. Thank you. I guess, Tom, are you going to be emailing us or should I email you if I want to do those things he's offering?
Well, if you do the calc, so just so you guys know, and I was trying to like I was going to make a landing page to where I could actually send you to a landing page. This was bad on me, but also right from a time standpoint, I was going to make a landing page where I actually put like a nice welcome video and said, hey, thank you very much for doing it. I just didn't get it done. So, but if you went through and did the information to get the goalie calculator, if you scan that thing, I will get that to Tom and I will just be forwarding that to Tom and he can then reach back out. So this slide right here.
And John, can you drop the link in the chat real quick too?
This one right here.
Yeah, can you drop the link of, yeah.
Yeah, let me, I'm gonna just grab it someplace else. I'm gonna go right here.
Because yeah, you said I'll see the blank picture. It says your name. And then what do I click from there? Like I
So
kind
go
of
right down to here. See
Yeah.
where it says contact us.
Oh, okay, that's that simple. Okay.
Put
Sounds
this in here, put Madison. See, I remembered. Your email, your phone number, what you'd like to do.
Okay.
Let's connect to discuss, and then just put in here, I want the app. And then
Okay.
that's gonna generate a lead back to me. And in turn, I will just kick that over to Tom. And we're gonna let Tom kind of pick you up from there. And I will put a chat, so that's kind of the entry point.
Okay.
Is right there, and I can go back to it here if anybody wants it. This is the QR code. Let me drop it in here as well. And I just put it in the chat. And again, if you have things for me, I would love if each of you guys would follow me on social media. I talk and post a bunch of stuff out there. I post 1 to 3 times a day across all kinds of things. And also just one last thing I would give you if you are new to doing social media or it's something that you haven't done. Again, the guarantee is you would do more business today if you had more. And when I was a kid growing up, my parents told me not to talk to strangers. And today, if you're not on social media, you may as well drive a white van with no windows because you're kind of creepy. So you are the stranger. And when you begin doing social media, anything like that, I like to say you kind of encounter 5 L's. The first L that everybody hits, whether you like it or not, is that you feel like a loser. The next one is you want to get some laughs and some learning and some likes. Those are the next 3. That's what you're trying to do. You're trying to educate people. You're trying to entertain them and hopefully get some likes. You want people engaging with your information. If it's boring and all you're doing is telling them about, I don't know, boring things that real estate people like to tell people about. You're just posting pictures of keys at the closing. That's kind of boring. If you do that correctly, you might get some leads, name, phone number, email of somebody that ultimately helps you get some listings or some loans or some closings, but it has to go through that progression. Nobody started on social media day 1 and had a whole bunch of people following them. So you got to go through it. But I know this, that if you start doing it today, in 1 year, you'll be in a better position than you are today. Unless you do something really weird on social media. Well, I try not to do weird things. But that's all I got for you. You can bail off. If somebody still has questions, I got a couple of minutes before I need to jump. I know that people like to talk a lot.
So while people are thinking what they want to say, one thought process I had is instead of showing just closed, just sold, tell the story, the pains and the challenges maybe that buyer or seller had to get from the start to the finish line versus just listed, just sold, so people can resonate with that and like, oh, either that's me or I know someone like that. Your thoughts on that?
Yeah, so here's actually my thoughts, right? So this is content that converts. This was a little thing, like I put bonus things at the back. I tried to, like I said, I tried to get it to 38 minutes. I was just slow. Here's the thing. 3 things of content that resonate with people today. Did I clip it off? So reality content shows that shows your expertise, things that are educational. And then social proof, highlighting wins that you have. And then what's not working, like just posting the things with the keys. You want to take somebody, hey, I helped Sally and Susie. It's been X number of weeks that we've been working on this. And so paint the story of how you got them there. The closing is just one little thing. It's not the journey of the butterfly. Take people through the story all the way from the beginning to the end. Almost maybe to the point of when you get somebody, like the picture of the keys at the closing should be the focal point of the social media. It should really be the whole story. Nobody would watch the Packers game. Like, you don't want to know the end score. You want to know that Aaron Rodgers, he's not your guy anymore, but that he, that drive with 2 minutes left that tied the game, like that's the stuff that people care about. The final score is nothing. So try and walk them through a picture that shows, it adds certainty, right? They're certain that you're the person that can deliver the results. The company got it done. You have unique systems. You went out and split a piece of land and you split the house off for a listing. You split and you sold the 100 acres and you split the property into 2.5 and you got the client their full asking price, but you had to do it by selling the land and the property together. And here's the story of how those people were happy because you went above and beyond and you did more than the normal person would do. You're not going to get that from the Zillow Zestimate agent over there. This is what you get from me and our community because I'm better. So I think that that's great. And this is a really good weekly newsletter. It's for loan officers, but yeah, share a little bit more.
And I'm sorry to bother you one more time. So I got the one for the calculator, and then there's the, I think it was the Fin toolbox, right? I was trying to do it
Yeah.
all, but then like I was having a hard time getting all my
Yeah,
tabs
no, you gotta, I messed up. You
No,
gotta
you're-
try and then put all the stuff in there.
into the chat.
This one here is for the group.
Mhm.
So that's for the group.
Got
And then the
that.
Fin toolbox, didn't really have one. It was just get with Tom and he'll do that. So
Oh.
we're gonna take this QR code. If you do the calculator, we're
Okay.
gonna walk you through. We'll see if you want this one as well. And then this is the group where you get me, more of me, because you can never have enough of me. That's there.
Okay.
And then this is just this one is just the digital business card.
The mortgage broker builder.
Yeah, and that lands you right in my community. And I put a tag on it, so hopefully you don't end up inside, like, it should work. If you start seeing emails from me about like booking a one-on-one strategy call, like that should all be turned off. But again, it's like I
Okay.
was up till 2, 3 in the morning. So if I start bombarding you with sales stuff, like we are in sales, and if we're not doing the selling part, then right, I can't give my kids the life that they want or that I think they deserve. So, but I think I got it all shut off. I don't think you're going to get bombarded with sales things. And if
Okay.
you do, sorry.
Thank you.
Awesome. Hey, well, I appreciate all you guys' time. If there's anything I can do at all to help, if there's anything I can help you do to push your business, you know, any loan officers that might like this, go ahead, send them my way. I truly appreciate it. And go out there, make some stuff happen.